Okay, so the very first example we are going to go over is constructing frequency distribution for this data, and after that we are going to create the suitable chart that works with this kind of data. First of all, if we look at the example shows that number of product categories per customer at the Dallas Walmart. So this is for, okay, the data represent, it's for all customer transactions for one morning, just one morning. They counted the categories, the product categories for each customer. So for example, the first customer, let's say the first customer bought like, so many products, but these products belong to four categories, like fruit, vegetable, meat. The third category could be dairy, and the other one could be, I don't know, clothes or something like that. So the second customer, he just bought products from one category, third customer from 10 categories, and so on. So we need to understand what kind of data do we have. We have how many observations do we have? How many customers do we have? It seems that we have so many customers, we don't know, maybe 450 as I remember, but suppose that we don't know. So let's try to organize this, try to see the data. We have to organize this data. First of all, we're going to use a strong tool in Excel. We call it pivot tables. Pivot tables makes your life easy when you start analyzing your data. So we're going to learn pivot table today. Just we're going to do, okay, you can do this. We have so many ways of constructing frequency distributions. So the goal now is to construct frequency distribution. Understanding the data is the first thing we have to do. For example, look at the data. If we have number of categories, so the values are discrete, it's not continuous. 4, 1, 10. There's no number between the 4, 1 and 2. If you have 1 followed by number 2, we don't have any number between the two consecutive numbers, so it's a discrete value. When we have discrete value, we prefer to create, first of all, we're going to create frequency distribution. After that, we're going to create the bar chart. Why bar chart? We're going to speak about that. So let's first create frequency distribution. Let's organize data into classes, okay? So we're going to go to insert pivot table. Automatically, because I have already selected that one of the cells in that column, so the pivot table already selected the whole data in that column, which is a smart feature in pivot table. If you are not sure that the whole table is selected, I don't want to select column A, I don't want to select column B, I just want to select the data. The data exists only on column C. It's already selected already, and we can see it. You can just scroll down without clicking or something. You'll see that the whole table is chosen. Oh, it's not actually. No, it is, yes. The whole data is chosen, which is perfect. Suppose it's not. Suppose you would like to delete this. That's fine. Delete this. Select and delete. Then click on this little square. Then you can select your data. Now, how to select this data if you have especially long data? I'm going to select the first one only. Just click on the first one. And I'm going to click on Command Shift down arrow. In Windows, it's Control Shift down arrow. If you do this, it's going to select all of your data on that column. Let me scroll up. But it's selected here. Then, the question is, where am I going to place the pivot table? Is in a new worksheet or in the existing worksheet? I would like to put it on the existing worksheet now, on this sheet. Okay, where to place this pivot table, specifically where? So I'm going to click on that square. I'm going to select a place here, maybe there, here. Let me select that one. Go there, back. Click OK. We got it here. So this is my pivot table. Pivot table contains two parts. This part, the place where the pivot table is going to take place. If you select that one, you're going to see the menu on the right-hand side. We have menus or small menus. If you click outside, you'll not see that menu on the right. If you click inside the table, you're going to see the menu again. Okay. So what do we need to have? We would like to have these data in rows. So I'm going to either check that one. It's automatically took this one to the values subcell or sub menu, or you can just take it, drag, drop it on rows. Okay, before I drop it on the rows, let me first take it to the values. What's up? What's happening? Okay. Strange, by the way. You could actually drag and drop. So I'm going to drop that one on the rows. Oops. There is something wrong. Let me repeat. Let me delete that one. Go to Insert, Pivot Table, select my data again. I'm going to see my data here. Okay. I'm going to drag, drop. Strange, yeah, now I can see it. I don't know, maybe because of the recording menus here, so I'm going to take it to the left. So yeah, you can actually drag and drop. Actually, it doesn't appear. It should be appeared here. There's something not good with this. It's my first time using this capturing software, by the way, so maybe something wrong. So it should appear in rows here. I don't know why it doesn't. So let's see what the table tells you. We have the row labels, we have the sum, of these numbers, actually, the first column tells you that, oh, we can see it now. Look at the product categories. So the row labels, we have the values, all of the values are, exist in that table is from 1 to 11. So we have some customers, they bought one category, some customers bought two categories, some of them bought from 11 categories. So these are the values exist on that table. But how many ones? How many customers bought one category? How many customers bought two categories? This one gives you the sum. We are not looking for the sum. We're looking for the count. How many customers bought from one category? So right click. So the default, by the way, number of values, the sum of the values, the default here is going to be the sum. So you will be seeing the sum every time. So every time you have to choose what is the best or the most or the function that you're looking for. So we're looking for the count. So I'm going to do right click. Then I'm going to scroll down until summarize value by the count. So now it counts, it gives me the count. So how many ones do we have? We have 25. How many twos do we have? We have 29, and so on. So if you look at the total number, the grand total, we have 450 customers. This is perfect. Now we are organizing the data now. This is the way we organize data. So I'm just make the table smaller. I find that this, the words goes out. So I'm going to go to home here and I'm going to wrap text. So it's wrapped already. Maybe you can make it something like this. That's fine. You can select the whole table. You can just put them in one, something like this. So these are number of what? Number of categories. Okay, let me wrap the text as well. Let me put it in the middle. This is the frequency. We call it the frequency. Let me put it in the middle. The frequency. Now we have number of categories. We have the frequency or the count, right? This is nice. This guy, we call it frequency distribution. Very simple. It tells you a lot. It tells you, for example, if you look at the numbers, you can tell me, oh, most customers, basically, they bought from 4 categories because we have 92 customers. We start now understanding our data. We start making sense of our data. And actually, we can do the percentages. If you don't like the frequency, we can add another column in the value. So a drag and drop here. We go back again. It gives you the default, which is the sum. I'm not looking for the sum. Let's do again and make it the count. Let me make it smaller. And as we said, let's wrap it. But again, I'm not looking for the frequency. I'm looking for the percentage, right? Frequency. I'm looking for the percentage of the frequency. So what is the percentage? I mean, what is the 25 out of 450? What is 29 out of 450? So actually, to do this, we can do, after doing the count, we can show value as what? Percentage of the column total. Here we go. Let me put this in the middle. This is the percentage. So the highest percentage, we have number 4. We have 4 products. So we have 92 customers, which represent 20% of the customers. So 20% of the customers, they bought 4 products. Actually, we can see the bigger image or the picture, which says that, oh, most of the customers, basically, they buy from 4 to 6 products, right? We have rarely customers who buy from 1 or 2 products, categories. So this is a good understanding of our data. This percentage, it has a name, by the way. We call it relative frequency. You can change the name here, or you can change it from here. So this, we call it relative frequency. Perfect. This is another frequency distribution. Maybe you can include the 3 columns. Maybe you want to include the first one with the second one. Maybe you'd like to include the first and the last one, right? Also, we can add one more column. What we're going to do with the more column, maybe more data. We can get more data from here. Let me make it smaller again. Let me make it here. Okay, wrap the text. And I would like to know the number of customers who buy less than 4, let's say 4 products. Actually, it takes time for me to add these together, or or if I would like to know number of customers who buy, let's say, less than 7 categories. So I have to add all of these. We can do this here. So this, we're going to call it cumulative frequency. Okay, cumulative frequency. Again, we are not happy with this because it gives you the sum. Right click, summarize this by the count first. Now we have the count. I should have to change the name at the end, by the way, because it's going to change automatically if you change the values. Right click, we need to show the what do you call it? Show value as. We're going to go down, more options, show data as. So we're going to use, where is it? Running total. So again, summarize by no, show data as, running total in. Select this, okay. Now it gives me the running total. Now we know this is the cumulative frequency. So what does this tell you? It tells you that how many customers bought from one category or less, 25. How many customers bought from 2 categories or less, 54, which is actually adding these 2 values. How many customers bought from 3 categories or less, 96. Still, you're not super happy with this because this gives you the count, and people usually prefer having the percentages. That's fine. Let's take this again here, drag it there, and let's do the percentages. So let's wrap this guy. Right click, summarize the count. Right click, show value as what? Guess what? More options. Show data as. Guess what? The previous one was running total. Now we're looking for the percentage of the running total. Here we go. Now this makes sense. So this one is relative cumulative frequency, right? How many customers bought less than, or from 5 categories or less? 60%. Less than 6 categories, 67%. 6 or less, 67%. 7 or less, 83%. So the total, if I ask you how many customers, what's the percentage of customers who bought from 11 categories or less? All of them, basically, 100%, right? So this is my giant frequency distribution. It's not necessarily to create the whole thing. Sometimes we need the first two, sometimes we need the first and the third, sometimes the first and the fourth. It depends on the context. What do you want for it? What do you want this one for? What do you want to use this one? So now this is discrete. We have short list. So 1 and 11, 1 to 11, we have how many classes? These we call them classes, 1, 2, 3. These are classes. We have 11 classes. It's a short, good, manageable kind of table. So there's no need to group them, okay? There's no need to group them. So I'm going to keep them like this now. And the data, remember, it's discrete. 1 category, 2 categories, 3 categories, and all of these give you the counts and the frequencies. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to copy this one. I mean, it's not necessarily copy it, but I'm going to copy it. I would like to have a free table without having. Then I'm going to paste, and I'm going to paste what? Value and source formatting, or actually number formatting, sorry. So I want the table to be like outside the pivot, because I would like to do graphing. You still can do a graph within the table, within the pivot table, that's fine, but I would like to have this alone. Okay. And we can do some bar charts to represent the discrete values. We use bar charts. So let me create a chart to represent this data. So I'm going to select these two. I'm going to go to insert. Maybe you can go to the recommended charts first. We have recommended chart. That's perfect. You can choose one of these, right? So these are the bar charts, or you can create your own bar chart from here. So let me create the recommended. This is a bar chart to present the data. We have to make some stuff here because this chart is poor. We have to make it something representing the data well, okay? First of all, the title doesn't make sense. So we have to look at the table and say the frequency distribution of number of categories. Number of categories, we can say categories. Where is Walmart per customer at Walmart Dallas? We can say number of categories per customer at Walmart Dallas. This is good. And the other thing that we have to add, other elements, we have to add 2 things. The x-axis, what are these numbers representing? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to add this. So this is important. We go to the left. It's chart design already chosen because I am on the chart. I choose the chart. Then I'm going to go to the add chart element. Then I'm going to add the primary horizontal. The axis title is going to be number of products, of categories. Number of categories. Maybe you can add more. Now I'm going to add another axis, which is label, which is the vertical axis, which is the frequency. Or the count. We can say the count, frequency, that's fine. Now that makes sense. Maybe you don't like these thin charts, so you can do, if you automatically the format data series on the right, but if you don't see it, you can do right click, choose this, right click, and we must see the chart series, which is already, hold on, it's already there, format chart area, which is on the right. Now you can change the color. We have 2 things, chart options, text options. Chart options, we can change the color. We have the fill. We can do the fill different color. Oops, not the bar, basically. The bars, I'm going to choose the bars. The bars, we have this guy, we're gonna make it this color probably. The border of the bars, we're gonna make it probably that one. You can make this transparent a bit. You can actually change the gap to make it more like width, give it more width. If you don't like these axes, or I mean the horizontal, you can delete them, right? Oops, not the shadow, where's the size, basically. I'm going to delete them. Okay. So, I mean, play with these features of the chart. You have to make your chart like readable or something, right? So we did that. The transparent is giving you the width, maybe. That's okay. Yeah, and you can change the size or make it darker. So the features, when you have the graph should represent the data well. Now we can read the graph. We can look at what is the most dominant, the common, or the highest. What are the lowest, right? The numbers, you can change the axes. You can just look at the axes. You can go there. Axes options. We have the minimum, we have the maximum, we have the major and minor. So many things you can do here. You can actually go down to the numbers. You can see it from here. The numbers, if you look at the numbers, you can change the categories. If you have numbers, you have currency, you have date, time, etc. But in this case, we have only numbers. We don't have currency. So this is the frequency distribution. In this video, we created the frequency distribution for discrete data set, and we created the bar chart. If you want to change, by the way, if you want to change, look, if you want to change from this chart to relative frequency, you want to see the percentages, look at the charts. If I'm out, nothing is chosen. If I choose the chart, you'll see these two guys. You only do this. You just select this guy and move it from here to here. Here we go. So this gives you the percentages. Look at the axis. Look at the axis, the y-axis. So this is the frequency distribution. So let me go back again. Let me copy it. Let me just copy the chart, paste, right? If I copy and paste, I have another one copied. So let me copy this or drag this column. Here we go. Now we have the relative frequency. The relative frequency. So let me do this. Relative frequency. So here the percentage, right? Yeah, here we go. We have the percentages now, and it's in percentages. And you can play with the features as well, as we said. If you want to do the cumulative one, you can do this. But this is what you can just copy paste, drag drop. You're going to see a different thing because it's going to be increasing, not decreasing or something, right? So this is everything about the creating frequency distribution for discrete data plus creating bar charts.